Let's go very quickly from the first person here, your name, organization, or from the university or whatever. Very quickly.
My name is DORA SILIYA. I run an organization called Impact Lusaka.
Next. Oh, okay.
My name is Endo Chapu. I'm with Zambia Youth Achievement.
This group in West Management Solutions.
Really? Wow.
Names are Natasha Lisala. I'm head of women affairs at NIPA National Institute of Public Administration.
Really?
I'm Jane Akasamu, the founder of Green Energy. We do environmental energy.
My name is Chumbe Sarah Longu. I run a food processing business for Basic.
This is Rubanga Foika from Confidence 24/7.
Yeah.
My name is Kato Musonda. I'm an innovator of a smart store.
Oh,
A
the smart store.
I don't want to.
Oh, the store.
Yeah,
My name is Apele Mwachoma from Resilient Youth for Change.
Resilient Youth for Change.
We're into million production and livestock production.
My name is Joseph Yokokasanka. I read youths and farming.
Fine.
Yes, I'm in farming.
Okay. Did you study agriculture?
Yeah, we have already started. We are doing some chickens and pigs, goats, yes.
I hope we've got a whole list of everybody here.
My name is Lupu Pachongo. I'm from the university. I'm a social worker and I'm a youth advocate.
Okay.
My name's Sarah Enwelpe and I'm a carpenter by profession. I do fit.
Carpenter?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
I fit built-in kitchens and built-in wardrobes, and I have a small company.
Okay. My name is Mlenga Mawa. I run a company called Twin Valve Publication.
Invo?
Twin Valve Publication.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm based in fabricating things.
Okay.
Okay, my name is Achiko Misaka and I'm a graduate from the University of Zambia. And I run a small company that, with my colleague who's not here, that lends money to small market enterprise. Like
you are the one we are all looking for.
My name is Jessie Ndovi, a graduate from the University of Zambia and stroke farmer.
My name is Miriam Mumba. The NIPASU Secretary General. And I run a foundation called Fresh Start. I'm also a beautician. Yes. And
I see the blonde. I'm sure he can introduce himself also.
Okay. My name is Amos Malipenda, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Information. I'm a former youth. I'm also a farmer. Doing poultry, some chicken, some pigs, ducks, and I'm happy to meet fellow entrepreneurs.
Me, I'm also a former youth. My name is DORA SILIYA. I'm also a worker in the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. I'm a small business person. I'm a member of Parliament for Petauke Central. So we have all introduced ourselves, eh? I think before I say anything, if we can provide some structure to this meeting. I know that this meeting is very impromptu, and the reason is that, we say in my language that the elephant thing, Pafanzovu, Balinkani Yanzov, you see? If they... I think basically that you discuss an issue that is topical, isn't it? And what is topical now is that the young people of Zambia want to be heard, right? And so we thought that, look, there are so many young people in Zambia who are doing all kinds of things. And yet every time we hear about young people of Zambia, we always just associate it with, oh no, these are cadres, they are going to be on the street. These are cadres, they are on social media insulting. These are young people with nothing to do, they are just drunkards. But I am convinced that there are many of you who would like to have a real interaction with government. And I thought that I provide that opportunity and that this should not be the last meeting, but that today we begin a journey where we really hear what are these issues. And in this room, there are students, there are business people, there are so on. One day, some of you will be sitting here exactly like us. And so I thought that, look, just let me really get a feel that what are the issues, because sometimes when you're on social media, you really don't understand what are the real issues. And then when it gets into politics also, you don't really hear what are the real issues. Not everybody will be a politician. Not everyone will be a business person. Not everyone will be a banker. Not everyone will be a model. So we want to hear really that across these issues of young people, what are the common issues? How would you like to be represented? Because we want to be sure, what voice are you hearing? While you are here, what are the other youths saying? And also that you're not misrepresented. I heard yesterday an argument that some of the people who are saying they're representing you, they are grandfathers. So are you being well represented? So that's why I thought maybe a few of us, let's have an engagement. And since most of you say you've been to university and you've been to colleges, I expect that it's a reasonable discussion so that we see how we can move forward. My job on the PSA is to ensure that the president hears the issues that are topical among young people. Now, I don't know if there are speakers, because the cameras can't be here forever, so I don't know if there are speakers who will represent a few here before the cameras can leave.
I'm waiting.
My lady, start.
Okay. My biggest cry is on skills development. Like I said, I'm a carpenter by profession, and I started my career in the community. Oh, okay.
Sir, can you talk here? Maybe if you can just swap because of the light there.
Why don't you shift on that chair, let her come. Come and sit on this one.
On this one?
Yes. I'd like to have the camera people sit down.
Okay, so my biggest cry is on skills development. Like I mentioned, I'm a carpenter, and my career started in my community. That's Chawanga. So if I can say that carpentry is dead now. People are not going to enroll for skills because one, people think if you do carpentry, you're a dull person. You've never been to school. So I'd love governments to empower youth that take up skills like mine. Give us projects. Don't give us loans. All we need are the projects. Through those projects, then we can develop. Yes.
Good point. Straight to the point. If you can come this way.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes, I'm done.
I think you guys in the lady, come and sit here and speak quickly. You see the lady has shown the way. Straight to the point, eh?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes, I am the Joseph Yoka the National Confederation Chairman. I'm on youths in farming. The only thing which we from the government is to give us access to all ministries, like the way the Minister of Livestock has empowered us youths in opening us a group, youths in farming, and involving us in the farming programs, like giving us access to be meeting with the Karumbira mine, and giving us access to be having free transports whatever we are traveling in all provinces around the country. So, like for the good example which I got, there are youths they don't have access of how to win contracts from the government. But there are some youths who have got access of how to win contracts to the government, and then they boast to those who don't have access of how to go about it and win the contracts. Okay. So that makes those youths to be protesting in the streets. So our cry as youths is to give us access.
Fairness in the process. Fairness. Equality. I get it. Fairness and equality.
Yeah.
Speak, my lady. But in the meantime, why don't you?
I'm still going back I'm still adding on to the empowerment. It's possible to empower all the youths in Zambia. I don't know how many millions we are in Zambia.
6 million.
Yes, but if they can actually just identify the strengths of youths, the majority of the youths, identify them and start empowering according to strengths and talents and skills, that would be better, because all the youths can't manage their representatives. So if you know that maybe this such things, if you empower one, you've empowered the entire team. If you empower her as a carpenter, like she had said earlier, if you empower her, it means that you've empowered everyone that comes with her, because she has people that look up to her. She's an inspiration to some people. So she also has people who come up to her. How can I start? How can I join? Initially, when she's just struggling. So I think if maybe we can do it in teams of skills, talents, and I think it will work better.
Very good point. Matching the skills to industry. I understand.
I would love to advise the government, the Ministry of Information, to explore means of communication between themselves and also the youths. I think most of the youths do not understand how they can formally convey their grievances to government. So we need to come up with programs which should have a natural approach, so that even those youths in the rural areas, they are able to speak out their views. Because most of us in the urban cities, we have more opportunities than those even in the rural areas. Then secondly, I would like to ask the government to extend the solar milling projects to also youth organization. I'm coming from Joy Milling, a youth organization, which is producing milling meal. But as I speak, we've been challenged with load shedding, and as such, we are unable sometimes to go on with our work. So if we have solar-powered equipment, that won't be a complaint. And we need to adjust these days. We all need to go solar, and that will help us go forward. Thank you for this platform.
Thank you. Please go ahead. You can go and sit over there.
Well, the issue about...
Anybody from there?
The issue about youth empowerment. Yes, so, like for my case, I'm really happy with what government is doing in terms of empowering youth, like in my situation, because I've been wanting to be a manufacturer. And there are good projects like industrial. I've been with CEC for quite some time, but then there's been this reported lack of funding to open up those. But when the stimulus package came through, why should CEC not tap from there, open up those and put youths there? So I would really want government to just expedite that, so that at least we have a lot of examples of youths that have been engaged in employment programs.
Okay.
Yeah,
Industrial.
and I thank government for the fish program that is now going on. But we are really waiting on the industrial so that we can scale up our businesses and move forward.
Okay.
That's my appeal to government.
Okay. Very important.
Lots of those yards are complete now, so
Okay.
they can be open.
Can we get somebody from behind? Come, my lady.
My name is Sarah Buru. I own a food processing business. So I think my appeal is if the government can create an information platform. If I want to go into a food processing business, I don't know who to go to. I don't know what regulations I need to meet. I don't know what permits I need. If I want to export, where do I go? What information do I need? Where do I register my products? Such kind of information will help us entrepreneurs. It's important that we do things the right way from the onset, rather than meeting up with people like Zabs after you've created a product when you don't even know to say you need to register your product with Zabs. So it is vital that the platform is created for us to know the right requirements that we need to meet as businesses in order to scale. Thank you.
Very, very, very important. Very, very important.
For me, I think I want to talk about the graduates. Most of the graduates are not employed. And these days when you apply for a job, you are required to pay something for someone to push for you for a job.
Corruption.
Yes, corruption is too much. Yes, I think there should be corruption, and there should be transparency when jobs are advertised. Because even for you, if you apply, if you want to be, if you're a teacher by career and then you apply, you'll be told to pay something for someone to push for you. to get a job. You don't have a job, and then they're asking for money from you. Why are you going to get that money? Because you're looking for a job.
Let me ask you another question. Do they even ask for sex sometimes?
Yes, they do ask for sex. And for us, we are very vulnerable to that aspect. Yes.
Okay. Just please come.
Hey, good morning everyone. How are you doing today? Okay, my name is Mubanga Bolika. I'm coming from an organization called Confidence 24/7. And first of all, just like to thank you for this opportunity to even just meet. Speaking from personal experience, come many times to many organizations to try and meet the minister, the permanent secretary, but it's just awesome. And even when I got the call to say I'm going to meet Honorable DORA SILIYA, I was really excited because I know when I come and meet her today, something is going to happen, something is going to change. So my first ask, first of all, I want to reach out to the youth and say, many of us here in Zambia are really skilled and talented. So we don't really, in the beginning, we don't have to wait for government to start doing something. I'd like to give an example of what our organization is doing. We're working in the catchment area is Bauleni. So we've noticed that during this period of COVID-19, many youth are here in their homes and no one is working right now. Parents and the breadwinners have been laid off, even the youth have been laid off. So we came up with these beading products, which are very simple, and you can just pass this around. These are just okay, and why we like this is because there's low startup capital and it's not difficult to learn. You do not need a degree to learn this. The woman who is teaching us as the youth has never been to school before. She's never held a pen. And I know I'm in the room with many people who have got their degrees already, many university students who are here, and it's very easy to learn. And you can do it with anyone in the family. Your grandma can do it, your mom and dad, and yes, so I'm appealing to the youth to say we are very skilled in different areas. I've heard there are people here who are carpenters and who are doing great things. So just start and then we can move from there. But my appeal to the government is that we need a platform on where we can share our successes and our failures as well. Because there are so many people who are doing great things, but they have nowhere to show it. And once the platform is created, I believe that's when things can start happening. We can have opportunities to find funders for the projects that we're doing. So this is my biggest appeal. And
thank
yes,
you.
that is all.
Yeah, maybe at that point first we'll just allow, I'll just say something so that we allow for the cameras to be able to move. I wasn't sure how it was going to go this morning, but let me say, just these first few minutes give me hope that this country should still be very, very invested in the young people of Zambia. There are 6 million youths in Zambia. And I think every government in the world exists because of the young people, because they are the leaders of tomorrow. And clearly, I think that government must concede that we should have more and more, we should have had more and more engagements as such, so that we can really hear each other. When we hear that youths are protesting, sometimes ourselves are also a bit confused about where has the communication gone wrong. And I think we in the ministry maybe should also take responsibility that we have to try and create within government a platform where we can celebrate the young people of Zambia. When you go on social media, I can understand how you feel as if there's no hope, because half of the things on social media are just insults, are just about bringing the country down. And yet we heard just last week that the Global Peace Index has said Zambia is the most peaceful country. Number 4 after Mauritius, Botswana, I think it was Rwanda, and then Zambia. So we have one good currency going. We are a peaceful country. Because where there's no peace, you can't do all these things we are talking about. You can't talk about education, you can't talk about skills, you can't talk about borrowing money. So here we are saying we're a peaceful country, our number 1 currency. And we have 6 million young people below 35 years, 18 to 35 years. So we have the second biggest currency, a strong, healthy labor force that is ready to get rich in this country. And let me tell you one thing. Don't be ashamed to want to be rich in Zambia, in your own country. Don't be ashamed to want to be rich in your own country. And this is why the discourse now is about we want business for Zambians, not 5%, not 20%, but 100%. Because you should not envy a minister driving a GX because you in your own private life cannot drive it. No. It should be normal that you drive a GX and nobody should say you're corrupt. Because if you went to school, if you went to school in Zambia, if you are not rich, who will be rich? Who will be rich? So to me, it should become normal that young, educated Zambians can become millionaires, and we should envy their lifestyles and say they live well because they have the entrepreneurship skills. And I've heard you very clearly. Our skills development. We all use chairs in this country. We all use tables in this country. We all use doors in this country. So how can carpentry be a dying skill? Clearly, government must do something. All children in schools use desks. So who is making the desks if the young people in Zambia are saying carpentry is going out of fashion? So we have a mismatch here because we have skills and the need is there. Because every table in every government office, in every school, must be made by the lady like her. Then she will be rich. She doesn't need to beg from anybody. She will just be rich because that is her skill. So number one point of call, I will need to speak to Minister of Education, and even within government at cabinet office, where are we buying furniture from? We should live within our means. It means if I'm minister in Zambia, I don't need an imported table from China. I should live within a table that can be made in Zambia. And that's the example. So, and we have big carpentry businesses in Zambia, including like Sikale. They should be able to take our people and work with them and have connections so that they can be able to have an immediate business opportunity. Equity, I think that is a very serious issue. There should be no youths who are more favored than others. And that you should all feel, and this I'm going through the messages you are giving, or the youth you are saying that you all want to feel that there are no youth who are favored in government contracts, while others don't even know where to start. There must be equity, there must be equality, there must be fairness, so that you all have a chance. You must not get business because you know Mr. Malupenga or because you know Minister who. It must be because you are saying, I have an idea. And I think this idea can work in Zambia. And I too need a chance. Because government expends the most resources in this country. So if we are spending money as government, it means it must be going in your pocket. Because he can't afford to give you a 5 kwacha every day. Neither can I afford it. But if you have the opportunity, even when you lose the business, you should know that it's because somebody else did better. But if you're not even given a chance, then that is what you're saying is a problem. And that you would like that addressed. Number 3, I think that we are still talking about how skills should be connected to industry. I think I've discussed that already when I used the issue of the example of carpentry. A platform for communication. I think this is the first step. This is what we are doing here. Communication should not be a by the way, where we are just talking to each other in newspapers, on social media. It will end up into a crisis. We need to have a platform, even if it was electronic, but where the youths know that when they speak, the government is hearing. Government can't do everything at once, but there are things that we can do. For example, like desks. It should be possible that government should say, okay, we'll be procuring desks locally from Zambians, young people. That should be able to, that government should be able to do. What we can't do, there must be a platform where we explain that we can't do this because of this, so that everybody is clear, so that we don't misunderstand each other. So the platform, communication platform, that is very important, and that is our responsibility. The issue of power in the country and how it's impacting your business. Again, our job here will be to make sure that all the issues you've raised, every responsible minister and PS must sit there. So that we must communicate to the president that the youth said this, the minister said this, and this is where we are failing. So that the president understands what we can do, what we can't do, and the people of Zambia, especially you, the youths, also understand. So the issue of solar, I understand. We might not be able to control the rains, but we can control solar procurement in this country. I know that duty has already been waived on solar in this country, but why isn't there much penetration? Are there still some issues? We need to find out from yourselves. Is solar still not affordable? Is that the problem? Is that the problem?
We would like to have solar-powered hammer mills.
So you were talking specifically about solar-powered hammer mills,
yes.
But at household level, I've not seen many homes still with solar. Are you saying the issue is that it's still not affordable at household level?
I think so. Yes, it's very expensive.
It's still very expensive.
Yes.
Okay, so that I wanted to be very clear. CEC and industrial yards. Government has invested in industrial yards. Ministry of Livestock is eager to support many youths. CEC, government has released the 10 billion kwacha through Bank of Zambia that even CEC should be able to apply. What are the issues? Is the application process complicated? Is it that, again, you are feeling that only certain people are favored when they apply to CEC? Are you ready yourselves? Do you need training in preparing proposals so that you are able to access these resources? We need to be clear where the challenges are. So is it that, yes, you yourselves say I'm a graduate, but you have not been exposed to business yet, so maybe you haven't prepared a business proposal yet properly? Is that the first problem? Second problem, is it indeed that the people who work at CEC need reorientation? I call it mental infrastructure re-engineering, that they need now to know that they have to give Zambians a chance. Because all of us as Zambians are beginning to learn now that if we don't develop this country, nobody will do it for us. Others will come and make money and take it to their country. And we'll remain here saying, oh, Zambia is very rich, Zambia is very rich. And the future is you. These 6 million young people, 35 and below. You have to demand for access to CEC. So we'll be very happy to get Mr. Likando Mkumbuta to explain to us why it should be impossible for CEC to take a chance on a young Zambians. The banks might not, we can't control them. But CEC is government money. We should be able to manage and control it and say, please take a chance. Even this, all of us should stop buying imported jewelry. CEC should take a chance on this, which already looks very nice on my white outfit. So we should be able to take a chance on things like this. No, if nobody takes a chance on him on things like this, how are we going to create the jobs? So it's mindset change. It's Zambians who deny Zambians business. It is Zambians who deny Zambians an opportunity. It's not the president sitting in State House. It is everyday Zambians in offices who look at you and say, oh, no, we are not going to do this. Next, the fish programs. I think livestock, the minister was here yesterday, and she is extremely eager. Honorable Nkandululu. She is extremely eager. I am going to also make sure that we organize a meeting with her so that you really know what you can access. I think that she's saying that she has a lot of grant money, which is different from loan money. She's very willing to work with young farmers in poultry, in livestock, aquaculture, you know, so she is really eager, and I know that wonderful things are going to come out of Ministry of Livestock, because I spent a whole day with her yesterday, and I told her I was going to meet young people today, and she said to me, she really wants to demonstrate that it is doable. So I have confidence. I think I have a lot of confidence. Graduates and jobs. Not every graduate will find a job. That is just a fact. But by others making businesses, you create a job for that graduate. For that graduate who's an engineer, if a Zambian creates a construction company, they'll employ an engineer. If a Zambian creates a processing company, they'll employ somebody, an accountant, a human resource officer. If a Zambian starts a bank. So while government has jobs, we must make sure that the private sector grows. Many of us need to get in business. We need to go to college, to university, knowing that one day I'm going to start a business and employ other people. Yes. The famous Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook. He was what, 21, 22 when he started Facebook?
Yes.
And look at how many people he employs the whole world today. Look at what he created, which you all use as Facebook. 21, 22. It should be possible here that young men 21, young women 22 say, me, I'll never work. I will have my own job. I'll create it for myself by creating a business. Then I'm going to employ all my friends. That is how an economy grows. It can't just be civil service. We need private sector that should grow so that we create jobs there. But those jobs are going to come from clever minds that are innovative. Government's job is to hold your hand. That if you can't get support from CEC, we must be concerned in government. That why are we making it complicated for you? If you can't get a loan from Zanaco or Indo-Zambia or APSA, we should be saying you're doing business in Zambia. Why aren't you giving a Zambian a chance? So these are the issues that government is very concerned about. We need to make sure that more jobs are being created for graduates, because we can't invest in education, but we are not creating jobs for graduates. Now, these jobs will not just be in government. They also have to come from the private sector. So we have to create businesses. We are clear?
Yes.
The last point, I think, even on Facebook, we are just celebrating misery and failure. You feel like there's nothing good in our country.
Yes.
So at what platform do we celebrate Diamond TV? What platform do we celebrate them? At what platform do we celebrate a young person just doing something wonderful in this country, which people might not even know about in Chawama or in Kanyama, and they are thinking that nobody knows about me. So we are busy on Facebook hearing about young people in other countries.
Yes.
We watch 3-year-olds singing in other countries and we are all sharing. Look at this child. Hey, look at this child. Look at this child. Where are the Zambian children? Where are Zambian young people doing wonderful things? So we should all be sharing. P.S. Have you seen this Zambian girl? Have you seen this Zambian man? We just go to other countries and say, look what this one said. We are all sharing what people are saying in other countries. Young people.
Yeah.
What are we saying about our own country? I saw one going through over the weekend. I think it's a young boy from the Gambia, a youth. And he was making a statement about, I went to school in this country. I am going to be somebody in my country because other people will tell the story for me and they'll not tell it properly.
Yes.
Here we are telling ourselves the story for ourselves, but a bad story. Every day, no. Nothing is good here. Nothing is good in Zambia. We are telling our own bad story and we can't see hope. The famous glass person, meaning that we have access to everybody, including the president. And you'll get this message in the next 1 hour that the youths are very clear. Yes, you're a former youth also.
Thank you very much. I think the minister has every put it, and I think what is very encouraging is that you have raised very key issues bordering on communication, and that communication is going to help us to connect. You are not asking for favors in terms of coming to government with an empty, and I don't think that is too much to ask for, and that is why we need to create that platform to see how we are going to improve on the communication, to communicate these ideas, because I see a lot of role models. There are youths out there who are sitting waiting for handouts.
Yes.
And I think we need to expose you so that you can send a message that there is a lot that you can do with your own hands, with your talents, with the skills, and then you need government to help you, to push you to another level in terms of facilitating opportunities and further improvements in your skills. And so it's very refreshing to see that while a picture has been painted like youths are stranded, they have nothing to do, and that is why now they are behaving like they are working from the devil's workshop. It is very encouraging to see that there's a lot of talent, and all of you are involved in very productive things. So I think you're making the job of the government lighter, because all what is required is just to see how the various ministries can facilitate. You have talked about industrial yards. We need to see how we link up with Ministry of Commerce. The issues of carpentry, those other skills. And I think the chief government spokesperson is here. We will have hope that we have to find a way of enhancing on our communication, exposing you, because once we're exposed, other opportunities will come. Just listening to a carpenter there, I've got something requiring the hands of the carpenter.
Like agriculture,
agriculture and all that. So
we have already even gotten the pigs and the chicken.
Of course.
From Ministry of Livestock.
Yeah, from the Ministry of Livestock, and they said that if we have got other youths who are interested in doing the same thing, we can introduce them. Even this morning when we are on our way coming in, the Minister of Livestock called us that we get in touch with the coordinator so that we introduce other youths who are interested in farming so that they can go get their items that side that they are at that's farm. What's the name of the farm?
It's near Hybrid.
Yeah,
okay. Anyway, I think what's important is to start early. If you want a business, start early. A business can take 10 to 20 years. Imagine if you start your 23, 24, 25. By 40, people will be saying, how come this one made so much money? You know, don't say tomorrow. You start now, you struggle through, but you will get there. Yes. The Bill Gates we hear about, he started from when he was 20, 22, 23, 24, isn't it? Yes. Today, I don't know if he's in his 60s, 70s, but he didn't start yesterday. Yes. So we need to work at it so that we can get there. Before I say something else, the lady behind, yes, please.
Thank you. I would like to start. So for me, our cry as youth is not just about being skilled or being empowered. I think our cry also is about every time we come out in the open to air out our views, we feel shattered. You know, we come out in the open, we're being called disgruntled youth. You know, so for me, I feel like these protests haven't come from nowhere. There's no smoke without fire. I really feel youth should be given an opportunity to speak properly, to air out their views, and not be shattered or be felt like it's war. Exactly. And for me, as a women's affairs, as a female ambassador, I've been telling my girls to not feel like they can't have a seat at the table. They are being shattered, or don't say this, or it's being looked at as if it's war towards the government. I really want the government to make us feel like it's okay for us to speak out our minds. Exactly. And not feel like we can't.
Exactly. I think that is the point, and it was already raised by somebody, that where is the platform?
Yes.
Where is the platform for us to engage? Because even when you engage, you just don't say everything is bad. Then we might as well fold our hands.
Yes.
But we've heard here, the lady who's talking about carpentry, we've already said, in all our schools are desks. So why isn't it possible that Ministry of Education and we bring them together? If it's an issue of financing, we bring in CC together and give her a chance. How is that impossible? It's because now we are having a dialogue. The livestock, he's already said, the Minister of Livestock has said, those who need pigs, those who need, what is missing there? We should ask. Is it CEC? That means we need to bring CEC closer and make sure the package is complete. Yes. We can only do that once we are dialoguing, we are engaging together. Yes. You know, that is what is important. I know that we will have to bring the cameras to an end so that we work out a way forward ourselves. So I would say, I think the cameras, we are very grateful. Diamond TV and ZNBC. And then my friends and I here can remain and